After spending our first day in Munich, we decided we wanted to do a day trip, and we took, without moving a hotel. So what we done is we took a train and went an hour and a half north to Nuremberg.
And we don't have to worry about parking or renting a car or finding somewhere else to stay. So that's one of the great things we find about Europe. It's very affordable, especially here in Germany, to hop a train and go
Hmm.
to another city and experience something. And Nuremberg is one of those cities that I've always wanted to go to. I'd love to come back at Christmas,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's got a lot of history here. Welcome to Retire to Rome. I'm LJ.
I'm Russell. We're retired, traveling full time.
On a budget and loving every minute of it. From the moment we stepped off the train, we were ready to explore. And the great thing was, Old Town is just across the street from the main central station. Nuremberg has more than 1,000 years of history. Over the centuries, it became a major center of trade, craftsmanship, and culture. We entered the old historic town where the modern city quickly gives way to medieval walls, beautiful buildings, churches, and cobblestone streets. Nuremberg's old town is surrounded by nearly 2 miles of medieval city walls, complete with towers and gates. At one time, those walls were the city's main defense system, and today they're one of the things that gives Nuremberg its unmistakable medieval character. Now we're headed up to one of the city's most iconic locations. It's the Nuremberg Castle, and on this day, it is hitting 90 degrees and it's quite warm. But the best thing about the location, it has some of the best views of the city of Nuremberg. And to top that off, you can stay on the outside and just visit the area for totally free. If you go inside, from what we understand, it's more of a museum and not really a traditional castle inside. But we could be wrong about that. We're not actually going in. We're doing the free version today.
The castle has stood above the city for nearly 1,000 years, and it was once one of the most important castles of the Holy Roman Empire. German kings and emperors stayed here during their journeys through the empire, and its location high above the old town gave them an impressive view and a pretty strategic one, too. For a time, Nuremberg was also home to the imperial regalia, the crown, orb, scepter, and other objects that symbolized the power of the Holy Roman emperors. And here's a fascinating detail: the castle wasn't one single building built all at once. It's actually a complex made up of structures built and expanded over centuries, which is why you can see so many different architectural styles throughout the grounds. So a friend of ours recommended that while we were in Nuremberg to come to the oldest place in Germany that serves bratwurst, and this place was opened in 1419.
Yeah, and it was excellent. I mean,
Excellent.
the sausages were tiny.
Yeah,
They kind of look like what we're used to in the States, like a breakfast sausage.
link,
Yeah,
like a
breakfast
breakfast
link.
link.
I'm sorry, breakfast link. And they almost had the taste of a breakfast link. They didn't taste like a lot of the other
Grilled.
sausages. Yeah,
Had a grilled flavor to it, but the sauerkraut and the potato salad that was aside was excellent.
very good. It was very good. And I mean, we had to do it. We
Yeah.
had to get a pretzel. And of course, you've got the German mustard. And I'm not a mustard fan, but for some reason in Germany,
It's good.
their mustard is excellent. So we'd highly recommend this place. And shout out
Yeah, I'm going
to,
to shout out to Darian. His channel's Magnificent Germany with Darian. And if you're not familiar with him, he does all things Germany. He's got a great YouTube channel and a great friend. And just want to shout out to you, Darian. Thanks that it was recommended, and we really appreciate it. It was great.
it was great. And if you are thinking about coming to Germany and want an itinerary, get with him. He'll be glad to give you one. He's, I think, done everything there is to do in Germany.
We'll try to
So,
put the link to his channel in
yeah.
the description, and if you would, go over and give him a like and subscribe.
As well as hit that like and subscribe button for us, we would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here's a quick fun fact about Nuremberg's old town. Much of what you see today isn't actually centuries old. The city was heavily damaged during World War II, and much of the old town was carefully rebuilt using the original medieval street layout and, where possible, historic materials. So when you walk these streets today, you're seeing a fascinating mix of genuine historic structures and painstaking reconstruction. To be honest, we couldn't tell the difference.
St. Lorenz is one of Nuremberg's most impressive landmarks. With construction beginning in the 13th century, it became one of the city's great Gothic masterpieces. Inside, you'll find incredible Gothic artwork, including the famous Angelic Salutation by Viet Stoss, which dates back to the early 1500s.
And this huge bell sitting here on the floor is actually one of the oldest in the city. It's the Fayer bell, dating back to the first half of the 14th century, and it was once used as a fire bell to warn the city of danger. One of the most fascinating things about St. Lorenz is that it survived the devastation of World War II, although it was heavily damaged.
And don't miss those enormous stained glass windows. They're one of the features that make St. Lorenz so spectacular from the inside. As we continued wandering through Nuremberg's Old Town, we crossed the Museumbrücke, one of the bridges that takes you right across the Pegnitz River. Say that 3 times fast. And just to our left was another one of Nuremberg's famous bridges, the Fleischbrücke, or Butcher's Bridge. The Fleischbrücke dates back to the late 1500s and was actually modeled after Venice's famous Rialto Bridge.
Looks like even the bees agree. You can't spend the day in Nuremberg without trying one of the city's most famous specialties, Lebkuchen. We stopped at Wicklein, a Nuremberg institution that traces its roots all the way back to 1615. Lebkuchen is what I call gingerbread like you've never had before.
This is Nuremberg's Hauptmarkt, the city's main market square and one of the busiest gathering places in the old town. It's surrounded by some of the city's most famous sites, including the Frauenkirche and the beautiful Schönerbrunnen, or Beautiful Fountain. During December, this same square transforms into the famous Nuremberg Christmas markets.
At the Church of Our Lady, every day at noon, the clock has figures that perform a tribute to the 7 electors who once chose the Holy Emperor. And then there's the beautiful fountain, standing nearly 20 feet tall and covered with colorful golden figures representing important figures and virtues of the Holy Roman Empire. And don't forget the famous brass ring on the fence. Tradition says if you turn the ring, you're supposed to make a wish, so of course, we had to give it a try. We had a great day exploring Nuremberg, but we definitely want to visit again during Christmas to see the city completely transformed.
And we also want to visit the Palace of Justice and the courtroom where the historic Nuremberg Trials took place.
Have you visited Nuremberg before? If so, tell us what we missed in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. One of the best things about today is it did not break our budget. We basically had to pay for our train ride over and back and what we spent on our lunch, which we felt like was pretty reasonable.
If you enjoyed exploring the city with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and come along for the next adventure.
And as always, have a blessed day and
Safe
safe
travels.
travels.